what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and we are... Wow, we are right into the thick of it, aren't we? Okay, so... This episode. What could be the defining sort of theme, maybe, of this episode? I don't know. Hold on, let's consider that for a bit. Well, I mean, I'm doing some texturing. Yeah, texturing, okay. That's something. I do go up and down these rivers. That's sort of the first segment of this episode. If you'll notice, I didn't put this mud texture in the marsh area because I'm not sure how I want to texture that place yet. What I might do is I might go back and look at the Great Arturo Swamp and see how that place looks and sort of build it a little bit off of that. But a lot of these areas aren't going to have too much tree cover. Well, a lot of these areas, some of these areas aren't going to have too much tree cover. Instead, they're going to have just sort of a ground cover in the form of grass and shrubs. And that's something that needs to be worked on. But that doesn't get done this episode because that's under the fiddly bits section of work. And right now we're doing secondary textures and... Let me think. Secondary textures and I wonder what. I wonder what else this episode could possibly entail. Anyways, there's the waterfall. I'm supposed to omit the sound from these episodes, but I didn't have anything playing in the background. I didn't have anything, what's the word? I didn't have anything, anyone talking to me in the background, so I left the audio on this one. It's not really a big deal. You'll occasionally hear the waterfall. If, of course, I'm not talking over it and everything else is quiet enough. I went to work over there, but, you know, that's also included in Fiddly Bits, and the Pit of Death is kind of the... what's the word? It's not a priority, I should say. It's sort of the last thing on my list. We're gonna get these base textures done, and then, unfortunately, we're gonna have to bail on this line because some work needs to be done elsewhere. Although I'm not sure how much of that I'm gonna be filming. I do... Again, you know, I have a lot of Iron Horseman Chronicles work to do. And that I will spend most of my free time doing. And it's pretty much all of my time at this point. As long as nothing's processing, which this will be for the most of the remainder of the night. Which is unfortunate because I just wanted to get some Iron Horseman Chronicles work done. I think I might just work on the vocal line instead. Even though I don't really want to. It's the sort of thing where I'm supposed to be producing these at a rate of approximately one a week, and I'm really running into trouble when it comes to being able to do that. I've been working on the first one for far too long now, but I'm trying to get people onto the second one for voice acting and whatnot, but I don't know what times to do that. I mean, I think what I should do is overlap schedules with processing stuff like this and picking people up and stuff. I need to use my time efficiently and effectively, is really what it comes down to. Which is why I think I know what I'm going to be doing all this processing. Or at least I have two different things I could be doing. Anyways, I think we've made it. So I was questioning, of course, at the beginning of the episode, because I had no idea what happens in this episode. What exactly this episode should be all about. What is it all about? Let's see. Well, looks like, trees. Just trees everywhere. All of them. Like, thousands, hundreds of thousands of trees. The ecologist would be happy. So many trees, though. Like, all the trees. Look at them. They're everywhere. That was my big thing, and I got more done than I expected to get done, but less done than I hoped to get done. Because I had to cut it short. I had to run across the state to a chiropractor appointment, and I got home later than I wanted to. So I wasn't able to record as much time-lapse as I wanted to, but I think if I did any more trees, I would have gone insane. And that's saying something. Anyways, we've got these trees, and I'm placing them at random angles, at random intervals, placing them in such a way that it looks more or less randomized, trying to avoid very long splines. And to bring the edge of the tree line up as close as I can to the edge of the track, and sometimes, in some cases, too close. because I've had to adjust the track multiple times, or I had to during the course of this episode. Maybe not so far, but I do. Trust me. It's there. At 8 times speed, it may not be as prevalent as it might normally look. But, that's that. Oh, yeah, there's one. Blinking, you'll miss it sort of deal. See, my paranoia right now is that I have missed a swath of trees, and I'm not going to go over the entire area again looking for a missing swath of trees. However, I think it's worth pointing out that while I work on the stuff down near Blindside Bluff, this is everything else that isn't Maple Beach Birch is probably going to be speed trees and grass splines. And I'm not really sure what I want to use for speed trees. Probably maple and beech and birch. Surprise. So, there's a power line somewhere in there that we're trying to make room for. And trying to leave it a corridor, as it is in real life, because of course power lines don't typically cut through wooded forest. You chop down stuff around them. Which makes me curious, I want to look something up. Either way, as I was saying, while I do this area, I'd like to point out that I have no idea. I'd like to have an idea. I don't have an idea. Anyways, someday we'll come back and do a run session on this thing, but by then it'll be, it'll be at least a few months from now. My next run session is scheduled on the Hazel Northeastern, which is TBA's route, and I'm sure he's talked about it on the Terminus podcast before, but he's made huge strides since then, and the route is really shaping up. Meanwhile, I'm going to create a parallel series if I ever have the time, possibly during the winter, just entitled Pensification. And it's where we take a map that one of my friends has made more than likely, and we pensify it. Now, the term pensify comes from Pennsylvania Railroad. Pennsylvania Railroad, of course, having their signature dartboard position light signals, and the cat is dumb. Sorry. Not you, Chessie. Talking about the cat in here. Oh, never mind. Wrong cat. This cat is smart enough to open the door, the other one is not. No idea what I was saying. Oh yeah, Pensification. What we do in Pensification is we take a normal route, and we convert it to basically what amounts to a Pennsylvania Railroad subdivision. That means including changing engines over to PRR engines, changing rolling stock over to PRR rolling stock, and the like, and the area surrounding, and the change of the signals to position lights. And of course, switch stands and stuff, they're their own problem. However, I'm not sure how far we can get into Pensification. Like, I want to do something like that, but I don't know the scope of such a huge project, you know. The first thing I do is, I've always been threatening Jader, not really threatening, but I've been telling him. It's not a threat, it's a promise. I've been saying, hey, I'm going to take your route and I'm going to pensify it. And that's where the idea came from. That's what I want to be doing. I'm going to take the route, and I'm going to convert the signals to dartboards, and I'm going to convert the switch stands to Pensy things. Maybe not the switch stands, I like the CNR ones. I'm going to convert I'm tired today. I'm going to upgrade the speed on the main lines. I'm going to swap out the rolling stock. Well, although I'm the one working on the rolling stock session currently, I could have started with the Pensification already, but oh well. Anyways, the replace asset tool will help greatly, but I kind of want to do it all myself because I sometimes don't like where Jader puts his signals. I don't know. Then again, my signals haven't exactly done wonders either. Gantries, though. Gantries are a good thing. And so we're putting trees along the bank here, which is not something I always intended to do. If you notice, I painted that other whole area dark green. That's not going to be trees. That's going to be grass and shrubs and things like that. And the reason for this is I want to get a good view of the valley, and I can't do that if there are all these trees in the way. So I decided to go with a sort of, not a flood plain, but like, it's softer dirt. I was saying, not to you guys of course, but I was saying earlier how you will be amazed where a tree will just grow on its own, but if you've got really soft dirt, that ain't gonna happen. So we have really soft dirt on the sides of these mountainsides, and honestly I was thinking of going a level further and undermining the dirt from the railroad tracks and putting it up on a main 2-foot low trestle, more than likely. Oh, there's the waterfall again. Oh, look at me, I'm frozen. Oh, I'm not frozen, but I'm not moving. Come on. You can do it. Oh, there we go. Alright, I'm back on the move again. I don't know, I think the game froze and I must have walked away or something. Because, just let it sit there. Apologize for that. Come back and it's fixed, but I never cut out that footage. So I told myself, okay, I'll do this side of the river, and then I didn't exactly clock how long it took. Maybe I should have. But I didn't exactly clock how long it took, and I forget. I didn't clock how long it took, and I probably should have, because then I could figure out how long the other side of the river is going to take, which should be a little bit longer. But then we've got to do the splines in those other areas, and that's going to be a pain unless we do a lot of copy-paste, and by God, we're going to use a lot of copy-paste. Also, part of Pensification is including extra tracks, so there's no such thing as a 1-track main line, and there's hardly a such thing as a 2-track main line. It's generally add 1 or 2 tracks wherever, and then add gantry signals and dartboards everywhere! Everywhere! So we have the green come up to that waterfall, and I figured that was a good stopping point for it, but it may make a return lower down, depending on where it's convenient for me to cut back the tree line and put in some grass instead to make things look good. But yeah, that whole area the river cuts through is what you might call soft dirt. I thought I could come up with a good name for it in half a second. I could not. I failed. I failed you. I couldn't come up with a good name for salt dirt? Okay, now it's salt dirt. I wouldn't... Mom said don't eat dirt. Yeah, it'll raise your cholesterol, give you a heart attack. Train man out.